Well, I never thought I'd ever have another wood sleigh, but in today's video I take to the woods with my two dogs and try out this new sleigh that everyone is raving about. I'm kinda skeptical, but let's see what happens. I'm just back from a 1,200-kilometer snowmobile trip across Labrador and Quebec, and four of the guys had these weird-looking sleighs for carrying their gas and gear. To be honest, I thought it looked a little silly, until I saw them using them. I gotta admit, I was impressed and curious, and I knew my local snowmobile dealer sold them. So I popped up one day and spoke to the guys there, and of course, once they showed me all about it, I walked away with one. I like the look, and it's made right here in Canada by a company called Carry On. Now I just gotta put it together real quick and get out using it. This thing has handles built right in and only weighs about 65 pounds, which is lighter than the other sleighs I have. It's made up of several components, I think, and the majority is polyethylene, which I know is durable and much more UV resistant than Teflon. This hitch has great reviews and looks sturdy, and the bottom here has runners that will keep it from swerving all over the trail. I noticed they have a whole bunch of attachments, but the only one I'm really interested in today is the rigging for hauling logs, and I like the way it pops on with only 2 bolts each, and the tool for it came right with the package. Anyone who hauls logs knows that it's much easier to place larger wood on the sleigh without lifting, so removable poles are a must, and these pop on and off in seconds and just use a small hitch pin. Alright, it's time to gear up, grab the dogs, and hit those trails. Gear I take each time is pretty standard. I got my snowshoes, chainsaw, gas and oil, and of course the dogs. Right away I noticed that the sleigh has very little trail resistance, nice and slippery on the bottom. In fact, I kept checking my mirrors occasionally to see if it was still there. I could hear the poles jingling after a bit though, so that reassured me that it was still taking along. My other sleighs kind of pop up and down on the bumps in the trail, and that causes a bit of noise and it shuffles around the load, but this one was kind of flexible. Really flexible, in fact, it just conformed to the trail itself. Likewise, my other sleighs would fill up with snow on a trip like this, but as you can see, a couple little taps here, and the sleigh was clean as a whistle again. And here comes the real work, knocking down those trees, hauling them over to your sleigh, getting them close as possible, cleaning them up. The snow is deep. These old trees have been around for about 130, 140 years. They're about ready to die anyway. They're perfect for cutting for saw logs from my mill. Hauling logs with any sleigh demands having a good snow machine, and my Scandic 908 with 24-inch track is an absolute must. As mentioned, we have a lot of snow, between 3 or 4 feet in this particular area where I'm cutting, and these logs weigh a ton. And keep in mind now, I'm trying to get as many logs as I can, but not get stuck. And here you see where that removable pole makes things a whole lot easier.
So that's a fairly large load of wood. I could round it up, well, a nice bit more yet, but for the first run, I'm confident that I can make it home with that. And yeah, it's a fair bit of lumber once you get all that sawed up. So, and if I was using my other sleighs, I would only take half of that in these current conditions we have here, because other than that, you're asking for trouble. Maybe I'm asking for trouble today too. I guess we'll have to wait and see here in a minute. There are a ton of those tie-off points here, and even though I'm right on top of it with the log, it's still no trouble to access it.
Well, I put my skidoo down in low gear and started to slowly edge my way along. I just didn't know what to expect being the first load. And once you start moving like this, you gotta keep moving and hopefully don't tip over or get stuck. I was pretty nervous starting off, I must admit. It is a big load of logs, and I just didn't know if it was going to tip over or not. And it felt so light behind the machine that I was wondering just what it was going to act like once I got out on this big bog. A bog is soft, and if you go off the trail, you're usually in trouble.
I got carried away filming that time. I was looking behind and I completely went off track onto a soft spot. There's no tracks here previous, that's the main road. If I had done that with any other sled, I would have brought up solid. I even struck those two sticks there. And it was as if I wasn't even towing it. I can't make it up, guys. I'm pretty excited about this, if you couldn't tell. Well, made it back about 6 kilometers, not a hitch. Everything stayed intact. I tightened up the strap one time, nothing budged. And it was actually a pleasure to take it back.
Now this may not seem like a big deal to some of you watching, but it is. This is a game changer in my books. Now to go again and stack it up with a huge load of dry firewood.
Just along the skidoo trail there, I can see where somebody came along with a sleigh, like my wooden one, and one runner went out into the side there, look. And it caused a major groove there. Look at it from this angle. You can see a major groove. And I can see where they came up here, and the runner is actually still out to the side. And look where they got stuck. Oh, what a mess, what a mess. I'd say 9 tenths out of 10, they had to unload all those logs there, get the sleigh out of it, load it back on, and go on the trail again.
The best firewood area for me is about 20 kilometers away. A fair jaunt for sure. So it pays to cut and haul a massive load to cut down on transport time. The snow conditions are soft, but I really want to test things out today and pile up this sleigh with a tower of firewood.
Well, I lucked out with that shot. If it wasn't for that stick right there, the poor old GoPro would have got it. That's a nice bit, but I feel I can cut more. Guys, that's a pretty good load of logs there. And you got to look at the fact that it's from the ground up. If I was on a regular sleigh, it would be that much taller, you know? But now that it's zero gravity, it's going to make all the difference. I know it, I can feel it. There's actually 33 logs on there, different sizes of course. Well, what a perfect day to haul some wood. This is definitely a game changer for me, guys. For us, we rely on firewood. We have winter for 6 months of the year. Getting wood out and getting it back to our cabins is a major deal. Wood is getting harder and harder to get like this. You got to go further and further away. So if I can go and make one long trip and make 2 or 3 times the amount of wood back with me, that's a major, major difference. I just moved this wood from like 100 meters away to get it here, and it just feels like there's no resistance, and that's new to me. That's something that I'm going to really take advantage of. This wood here will actually last me for weeks. One trip. This sleigh will help me get my logs back at this particular time of the year or any time of the year. And I've seen people use these sleighs even when there's no snow. I noticed the sleigh is very flexible, so when it's going over the trails and the bumps, it's not rigid and everything is not shifting around. It's like a snake just slithering through the grass, you know, so everything just moves in a fluid motion. It's obviously not going to dig in anywhere because there's no edges that are sticking down for a stump to strike. I'm after going over 10 stumps here already today, shorter ones from last year, and it just rides right over the top of them, the same as my snowmobile would. And where that front is tilted up and it's solid, it's actually climbing its way on top of the snow. And for anyone who hauls wood or hauls sleighs, that's like magic, right? It's light, you don't mind picking it up, moving it around. It's not feeling full of snow like some of the sleighs that are enclosed wood. And a little bit of snow that gathers on top, you tip it up and it falls off. The real test with this will be endurance now. And that's what you'll see me doing in upcoming videos. I'm going to use this sleigh for whatever I can. So keep watching for those videos, guys. And until they come up, take care of each other, get outside and enjoy everything outdoors. And we'll see you next time. Guaranteed.
Get outside.